I was walking out of Walgreens the other day, and there was a man sitting there, maybe 18, 19 years old, and he looked really rough. He looked really tired. He was soaking wet from the rain, and he asked me. He says, "Can you give me a ride home?" And the first thought I had was, no, because if I put you in my truck, you might slit my throat or something. I mean, I think that's a pretty normal thought that most of us have when we have the thoughts of dealing with a stranger or whatever. And then, secondly, I started thinking, I'm too busy for this. I've got a busy night. I got a sermon to prepare, and OU's playing football, and I've got a test to prepare for, and had all these thoughts about how and why I could not do this or help this guy. And so I asked him from the curb, what's your name? What are you doing here? And he told me his story, and he said he just got out of the hospital, had his appendix removed, and he didn't have anybody to take him home. And so he'd walked to Walgreens in the rain. And then he went on to explain to me that his dad was supposed to pick him up from the hospital, but his dad was drunk. Sad story. I felt really bad for the guy. But I said, you know what? Get in the truck. And he says, really? I said, yeah, go on in. He says, I got to go to Noble. I said, okay, I'll take you to Noble. And I thought to myself, man, I'm glad he's not going to Dallas. So he gets in the truck, and we drive to Noble. And on the way there, he starts telling me his story about his stay at the hospital and his girlfriend, and he has a little girl and his job. And we just had a decent conversation. I dropped him off, and then we went on our ways. And as I was leaving, though, I could not help to feel the conviction about how guilty I felt for being so selfish initially. How I was so wrapped up in me and what I've got to do and what I've got to get done that I almost thought about not helping this guy. It's ridiculous when you think about it. How selfish and prideful and how busy we are. It's sick. It really is. How self-centered I can be. I get so tired of making that excuse and hearing the excuse that I don't have time, that I'm too busy. That's a lie. You and I all have 24 hours a day. This is not a minute or an hour issue. This is a heart issue. And if we're too busy to help other people, and we've got too much going on to notice the hurt around us and the needs that need to be met around us, then we need to cut some things out of our lives. It's just that simple. Get rid of some things, because if we're not helping other people, we're missing the point of why we were here. We are not here for ourselves. We're not. I get bothered tremendously when I see so much other things, many other things getting in the way of what we should be doing in life. I'm amazed at how many people's lives are centered around a television or football or these activities or those activities. I mean, it's amazing how much worthless things we center our lives around when God wants you and I to make a difference in the lives around us. Let's call it what it is today. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You and I, we just don't care. We don't. I mean, you and I make time for the things that we care about. And if we care about them, we'll make time for them. And if we don't care about them, we won't make time for it. There's no getting around that. And so what we need to pray for today and hope for is that our hearts will change and our hearts will be softened towards the people around us, and that the blinders will come off. That we'll take off the blinders of busyness and pride and all this other stuff that we claim is so important, and see the needs around us that need to be met. It's our joy, it's our responsibility to act like that. The Bible is so great about this because it says in James chapter 2, the writer there, he literally says, if you see someone that's cold and you just say, hey, hope you get warm, or you tell someone that's hungry, hey, good luck finding some food. I mean, you're not doing anything for them. Your faith is dead. Don't say you love God, and don't say you have faith if you're not willing to help the people around you, because it doesn't make any sense. Faith without action is dead. I want my faith to be alive, and I want your faith to be alive too. I love you all. Let us see the people around us that need us and need help. And this is all a part of what I ask you every time. May we be the church. Thanks.